by Dead at 27.
Morning. This is Aisha Goins with Life of a Daughter, and it is Wednesday morning, February the 18th, 2015. I'm here downtown at 820 South 7th Street in downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. And I always give you the address just in case you driving around and your morning hasn't really started and you're thinking, I'm going to go harass Aisha. My door is open. We're here at the Las Vegas Tribune newspaper, and this is their radio station, Radio Tribune. And I know Orlando is listening to me. So good morning, Orlando. We have the pass through Valentine's, or what they call Love Week, and we are here in love still. We are still pushing on with love and life and all those things thereof. And I'm going to talk a little bit about springtime in a few minutes, but my guest today, she'll be coming in just a moment, and is Nicola Mitchell. She is an author and a publisher, and she's a resident of here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm actually watching them walk through the door right now, and it's going to be my pleasure to interview her this morning. And if you haven't listened to my show before, you want to go ahead and get you a pen and a paper and be in an area where you are ready to take notes and be redirected and all of those things. She's a mentor and an inspirational speaker, so she'll be grabbing the mic in just a minute. But it's springtime. Well, it's getting close to springtime anyway, and we want to talk a little bit about spring fever. I don't know if y'all know anything about spring fever, but spring fever is mating season. And what happens is all the men all of a sudden notice all the women, and everybody's pheromones and hormones and such gets all fired up, and all of a sudden people are looking towards and looking forward to meeting each other. The best thing about mating, how you doing this morning? Good. The best thing, you guys want to come on around here? It's a seat over here. The best thing about spring is if you ain't with nobody, it's the perfect time to get with someone. So put on something cute, and gentlemen, put on some smell goods. Wash your body first, and then put on something that smell good, and understand that this is the time to start new relationships. This is the time where if you were single, you probably won't be. I always tell guys, I'm a serial dater. That's my issue. But I always tell guys, don't piss me off in the spring, because I'll replace you. I won't even be thinking about it. I'll be like, hey, this was cool, but I've moved on. So if you haven't ever experienced spring fever before, let this be your first time. Put on something cute. I don't care if you're a big girl and you still got that winter weight on. They ain't even gonna see it. I'm telling you. You gonna smile pretty, put on some lip gloss, let your lips pop. They're gonna be like, oh, she cute, because they've been in hibernation. Their eyes are wide open. But if you wait till summer, they won't see you. See, that's the thing. We missed the bus. We try to get cute for the summertime because, that's when everybody's cute, and especially in Vegas, the clothes come off even more. And so we thinking, I'm going to get me someone. No, it was 3 months too late. You got to get them in the spring. If you wait till summer, it's too hot. Now everybody hot to trot, and you can't get nobody. So this is the time. It's this middle time where you want to get cute, get your lips done, get your eyebrows. I don't know what the hell all this fascination is with the eyebrows. It's driving me crazy. But get your eyebrows done, get your hair did, and get out there and be seen. I know that Jimmy J's has a lot going on. Jimmy is at City Lights on Decatur and Sahara, and he has a lot of events that he's doing, and he's a black owned club here in Las Vegas, so you want to support him. I know that Twix is doing something over at Mist, I want to say it's called. I know he has his coming out of retirement party on the 21st, so if you don't have anything to do, I'm giving you just a list off the top of my head what's going on this weekend. Sam Smith's funeral is going to be at Palm Mortuary at 11 a.m. on Saturday. The NAACP absolutely will be having a meeting Saturday morning at 12:30 at the Doolittle Community Center. So these are the things that are going on in the city. It's important that you stay connected. But I'm letting you know that this is the time to be cute, ladies. I don't want to be talking to you in June and you talking about I'm single and I can't find nobody and there's no good men. I read an article the other day and they were talking about the things that men say on why they can't find a woman or why they don't approach black women. This is crazy too.
Okay, yeah.
They don't approach. Number one reason why they don't approach black women is because we don't smile.
That is so true. I get told that
all the time. I do too. And one of my girlfriends was saying on Facebook, she was like, I don't believe that. All of these are lies. The only reason why black men aren't approaching black women is because they don't want to. I said, nah, I don't know, because I talk to black men and they tell me we got that sign on our foreheads that say don't F with me. You know what I'm saying? You got to take that sign off.
You know, they'll say like, oh my gosh, you smile, you're personable. But I guess too, women don't smile because you're trained. Okay, if you're smiling, then you trying to get with somebody, you throwing it at somebody. So I mean, that's why too it's that misconception, because now you got your man and whomever else, your family members like, okay, you smiling at a man, you trying to get with him, you give them that invitation, so now you looking straight, I can't choose up. And it's not even about not even doing anything, is that brainwash that's put into your head. But
forget what people talking about if you single, you need to be smiling.
Exactly.
Period. If you single, you need to be smiling at somebody at some of the time.
All day.
You need to be cheesing. And if you give them a wink, give them that one eye wink. You know what I do when I'm single, and it's rarely that I'm really single. I'm actually single. Well, I'm not really single right now either, so let me stop lying. I'm always I'm seeing someone, and I have been told to stop being a serial dater. So I'm seeing one person right now, but typically I'm seeing about 2 or 3 cats, and I'm just kind of rotating them. Like I said, I'm a serial dater. Nevertheless, when I'm always in that space where they like, no one takes you seriously. You know, well, if I'm in that space where I don't have anyone, I'm really like a beast, because I'll start buying guys drinks. And see, guys like to be, because they like to be catered to, because nobody does. Like, they always doing the opposite. So I'll buy a guy drink. Let me just say this, because I know women are like, I ain't buying nobody nothing. It has been not ever that I've bought a guy a drink and had to buy the rest of mine.
Right.
So usually it's like a $14 investment for like a $70 night. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be a little strategic in your thinking. But if I like a dude and my roster is empty, then I'll buy a guy a drink just to get that roster, because men attract men like money attracts money.
Right.
So if you seeing someone, as long as you ain't in love, that's the problem. Most of us be falling in love. Ugh, that just drives me crazy. Don't fall in love. Don't fall in love. Just, hang out and then let him choose you. Be with the one that chooses you.
Right.
Don't choose him. Be with the one that chooses you. That's why I believe in dating, because if you're dating a lot, then guys are like, well, why are you seeing, why are you dating around? And I always say, because you won't choose me.
Right.
If someone, so the guy I'm with actually chose me, which is kind of odd, because now I'm just I've been dating for so long now, I'm like, why you choose me? I got issues. Nevertheless, I have is it Nicola? Nicola. I have Nicola Mitchell here with me, and she is from Kingston, Jamaica. She's an author, and she is also a publisher. And we're just going to be having a conversation about what she's published and what she's looking for in an author. And about self-publishing. So we will be talking for the next couple of minutes. About what that looks like. And I hope that you're listening. If you are listening in, we're going to be taking a little bit of a break. Right after the break, we'll be here with Nicola Mitchell. And I'm Aisha Goins, and you're listening to Life of a Daughter. I called for a break, and he wasn't ready. So, John, I had to run him real quick. We'll be right back after this break.
just to be of
We know you're listening. RadioTribune.com.
If you are new to Las Vegas or just need a place to receive your mail and packages, call our post office at 702-699-8100. Our friendly staff will be happy to assist you. We are located at 820 South 7th Street. The post office, 702-699-8100. Or come by and see us at 820 South 7th Street in beautiful downtown Las Vegas.
To advertise with Las Vegas's only independently owned newspaper and radio station, call 702-699-8111. That's 702-699-8111 to advertise with RadioTribune.com.
Do video.
Good morning. I'm here with Nicola Mitchell, and thank you for staying with me after the break. We are going to be talking a little bit about life and a little bit about books and writing, but first we're going to find out something very, very important. What's your top 5 as far as hip hop goes? I like to ask this question because it tells a little bit about the person. So what are your top? Who's your top 5?
The truth? Or
the truth.
Okay. I'm a hood star by nature, so on my MP3 player right now is Talib Kweli.
Okay.
Common Sense.
Mm-hmm.
The Loonies, we go all the way back to I'm West Coast all day long, so DJ Quick.
Oh, in the springtime too.
Yeah.
Quick used to come out with a new hit, because I'm old school too, old head.
Right.
So Quick used to come out with a new beat, hot, fresh beat every year from like 1989 up.
Right.
I miss Quick. We need a new funky summer beat. Come on with it.
Exactly. And then the last one I would say, just to represent that ATL, that's where I live at now. Little Scrappy Nuck If You Buck, that's like my theme song.
So everybody in West Coast is like, no, she did.
Yes, I did. Yeah, that's eclectic. That was an eclectic.
Okay. Since she from Vegas, we gonna give her a pass. But that's a good list. A little bit of old, a little bit of little bit of art, a little bit of hip hop. So it's an eclectic list. That's good. All right. So how long you in Vegas this time?
For a week.
And
yes,
how's it been going?
I just got here last night.
Oh, thank you for coming early.
Oh, thank you. I got a beast for a brand manager. She was, I said, can I sleep for 5 more minutes? No, ma'am, get up. So. I'm still out for East Coast time right now, so I feel like I had no sleep at all.
Oh boy!
But I'm here for a week, very busy. I'm here for the Magic Convention. I'm here for St. Jude's research telethon with iHeartRadio, and I'm also here for Upper Bound. The main reason Upper Bound, I was a teen parent back in the day, and Dr. Sullivan of the Upper Bound program believed in me.
Yes.
And he called me maybe a couple months ago, just asking random questions, and he's like, send me your CV. I'm like, okay. Send me this. I'm like, okay. Next thing I know, I'm getting all this stuff. I'm getting free stuff. They fly me in. They got hotels. I'm like, good. For what? Oh, you're the Upper Bound nominee for this year, honoree. And I was like, oh, okay.
I'm an Upper Bound baby as well, and I was saying this the other day. I'm an Upper Bound and a Nevada Partners baby. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm definitely. We have to give credit when we're in a space where we can say we've made it, and we did it with the help of this city. Right. We really should do that. And so kudos to Nevada Partners and kudos to Upper Bound. Yes. Dr. Sullivan, man, I don't know. I'm sure everyone has a story on how he saved them, Yes. But Dr. Sullivan actually saved me after I was out of Upper Bound, because I was just a kid. How many is like 600 or 700 kids at Upper Bound, and I met him when I was working for Dollar Rent-A-Car, and he used to come rent cars all the time. And I was going through some stuff, and he just started mentoring me then. So I was an adult at that time. So I just, you never know. People, when you take that moment to just inspire and to motivate, which is what you're learning now, because that's what you're doing when you're touring with waiting as a lifestyle, which we'll talk about. It makes a difference. It's a different kind of high, a different kind of life. I'm going to read a little bit about your bio so that people are familiar with who you are.
Okay.
Through her independent publishing company, NCM Publishing, Nicola published numerous titles which have been featured on various best-selling lists throughout the country. Much of her work revolves around complex relationship issues and Mitchell's compulsive desire to see women overcome challenge. I'm going to read this section right here because this is what hit me the most. With her outstanding representation of Las Vegas African American community, Nicola Mitchell was featured in the second edition of Who's Who in Black Vegas. As well as being an author, Nicola is also a motivational speaker and literary consultant, which allowed her to become the recipient of the 2013 Queen That Rocks Award from the Heal a Woman to Heal a Nation conference. Currently, she is touring across the country speaking about the importance of going after your dreams and overcoming obstacles and how to self-publish your book successfully. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was so proud as I was reading this, and I've had this because you do have a great brand manager. I've had this on my desk for about a month, and I've read it a few times and looked up some of your books. I'm getting ready to launch a dispensary, so my reading list gets longer, but I haven't put a dent in it. But you're now on my reading list. But tell me, how many artists have you published here in this city, in Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas, I've published, I think, 3 or 4. Overall, I've published 45 under my company.
Okay.
And then I've helped over 400 authors and independent publishers put together their books. So, like, say you want to publish your book by yourself and you want to start your own company. A lot of these small I'm not gonna say small, a lot of publishers, because a lot of them now have many books,
Right.
They give me the product and I give it back to them finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a finisher.
Yeah, I'm the finisher.
And it's important to have a good finisher because otherwise your book just looks like garbage.
Right.
Like it just looks like what it is, an independent book.
Right.
You want your independent book to
Exactly.
look professional. Can you tell me a little bit about, because you're from this city and, as a business consultant, I know the difficulties of, which I always say, Vegas is a great training ground. They will beat you and give you the opportunity to get it straight. Can you tell me what kind of things that you had to struggle with being from here and starting your business?
My biggest struggle was that when people know you, they like, oh, that's just Nikki. 'Cause
Right.
That's who I am. I'm Nikki all day long. And so they downplay you. So you're doing the same thing somebody else is doing.
Right.
And they're going to hype that person up.
Right.
But you're doing it. They're like, oh, whatever. Can I get a book? And get more offended.
Right.
By not. And I'm like, this is how I eat.
Right.
Or people see my grind, because when my first book dropped, that was back in 2009, I went on a whole 6-month tour without even before my book even was published.
Right.
So I sold over 800 copies off of pre-sales.
Right.
But people look at me, go online, you Google me, I just look like I have this extravagant lifestyle.
Right.
And they want to know, they're like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. But you don't want to put that grind mentality behind it. So you can't compare yourself, or you can't get mad at me or whatever if you're like, dang, why my book is not moving, or why my record isn't moving, or because baby, I don't sleep.
Right.
So it's like you can't be mad at the hustle.
Right. Can't be
mad at the hustle.
And it's funny that people have that conversation, especially in this city. It's a different grind, especially being 24 hours. But we're on the West Coast, so we're competing always 3 hours earlier.
Right.
And I don't think that people understand that. Like, first of all, the West Coast is not as supportive as the East Coast. I know they get mad. I can hear them chanting.
Yes.
But it's real. Like,
We just had this conversation last night.
the West Coast just isn't as supportive as the East Coast, and my fans on the East, they support all day. Do you know what I mean? Like, they call and support. It's not just
Right.
support. They call, text, baby girl, I got your back. Tell me what you need, and they mean that. Come out
Right.
here, get on the radio. I got you. But on here, just like you said, they're so familiar. That's the
Right.
word. They're so familiar, and they're familiar to a point where they discount your
Right.
skills. And like you said, the grind is real.
Yeah.
So tell us, as a female entrepreneur, businesswoman, tell me what are like 3 steps that you would give me to be successful? And when I say success, I mean because one level of success for one person is another level for another person, but to actually be able to sustain in business.
You gotta think outside the box. Number one.
Very good.
You gotta stay innovative. That's like a job, and your boss say, you know what, you've been doing this every day the same way, but today we got a whole new system. There's those people in the office that are crying like, oh, they messing up my flow. Well, no, baby, we got to compete with these new people and their new flow. So what I say is, you got to study and hone and learn your craft, right? But you got to learn other people's crafts as well. So that's number 2. Number 3 is stay consistent. Even when your money is low, when your money is high, when people don't like you, when everybody love you, you got to stay consistent because the longevity means more than those seasons that you go through. Right.
I appreciate you saying stay consistent, but most of all, don't be afraid to be innovative. Right. It's very, standing out there alone and trying something on your own it's scary.
Right.
I was saying the other day, taking risks become easier when you're confident in your support system.
Right.
It's not always we take the risk. We'll take risks all day as long as we know the people behind us will be there when,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So if you are out there and you're like, I really want to do this, and you don't have that support system, I can be your support system. Nicola can be your support system. You have to find people who have done it, who aren't afraid to take the risk, and that'll have your back when you fall, because you're gonna fail. I'm 4 years. We celebrated our 4-year anniversary. So I've been in this business specifically for 4 years. I had a business before this. But it's been 3 years. I always say it's 5 to 7 years to be an overnight success, right?
Right.
But 3 years, last year I coasted the last 6 months. I was like, ain't nothing breaking, ain't nothing going on, I'm out. I just was like, I'm out. I checked out, and I just like you said, sharpened myself. Did a lot of reading, did a lot of studying, and now we're at the top. It's February, we're at the top, and my grind is increased. I didn't even, the best thing is when she says be consistent, one of the things you want to do is stay in that area that you are. Even though you don't see the results, do the task. Don't be attached to the results. Do the task, because the task will breed results. Even though it might take 3 months to get those results, do the tasks. And what will happen is you'll wake up and it'll just break. The dam will break.
It may take longer than 3 months.
Yeah, that's true.
And the thing is, being a woman, being a mother, I'm a single mom. My kid, I have 2 children. One is a junior in college, one is a junior in high school. And 3 years ago, I was at the top of my game. I was able to quit my job. My book was Twisted was like number 1 on every list. I was bringing in $5,000 to $10,000 a month alone on one book. By myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My daughter got sick. She has a mass on her brain, and she's lost sight in her left eye. First of all, we didn't even know what was going on. So while you're at the top of your game, I got a kid graduating, and I got another kid that I don't know what's wrong with her.
Right.
And they're giving her medicine. She's having seizures. I tapped out for a second.
Right.
And I was just like, what's going on? And I didn't know how to fix it.
Right.
And I'm a control freak. So I'm like, okay, now we're going to fix this.
That's a good lesson to learn.
Right. And God told me, sit back, let me fix it.
Yes.
And so while I was in my wilderness during that time, I had to refine me. There, people, like you said, you were coasting. I just sat back and I'm coasting on what I built already.
Right.
But while I was trying to figure out my home, I was recreating my business.
Right.
So I'm looking at stuff now, and I think God make you go through that too, because you're looking at, oh, wait a minute, this changed.
Right.
Oh, there's a change in this.
Right.
So now I'm rebranded myself. So what the devil means for bad, God means for good. But it's just so much harder when you're black, when you're a woman, and when you're doing this by yourself.
Yes. So, and kudos to you for being able to stay consistent in a storm. It's very, one of the things that we have to learn as entrepreneurs, as females, first of all, as ladies, you have to be consistent in doing the right things all the time. you can't take a break from that because we don't have the leeway to go back and repeat it, you know.
Right.
So that's one of the things that, you know, I'm proud of you for doing. But secondly, for understanding that, because we make this mistake all the time, but nothing matters more than your family.
Right.
Nothing. You know, at the end of the day, forget all of whatever else is going on. Nothing matters more than your family.
Right.
You know, rebranding is hard.
It is.
Rebranding is hard. You know what? I it's funny. Shout outs to Joe Cato. You know, Joe is one of the.
Oh, I love her.
Oh my goodness, she's a bad ass, but you know she's beast in PRing. But one of the things that I've learned is it's not always about rebranding but reintroducing. She's
Right.
teaching me that, and you know it's important that when you reintroduce that you take the hurt with the new.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to just face it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because because we'll try to hide it and keep it in our closet like it's a skeleton. But what she's taught me and what she's teaching me is just stand on it.
Right.
You know, let it be that lift for you and let it, you know, push you up into that next level and don't be afraid of it. And so, you know, learning that from her, I've been able to show my scars a little
Right.
more. And that's a shout out to Rachel, because I know she's listening. She has a t-shirt line called My Scars, but I'm learning how to show my scars a little more
Right.
and not be afraid to be seen as human.
Right. Kalanda and I had that conversation a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when my kid got sick, they gave me 5 cities that
Right.
we can move to because Las Vegas didn't even know how to take care of her.
Right.
So Atlanta, I was like, okay, we can move there. I have a cousin there. At least I have somebody there. And that was the scariest transition, that we moved within like 6 months, left everything, left my 3,500 square foot house, moved to an apartment,
Right.
had to go to Atlanta. And you know what though, now I'm like, this was the best thing for my career.
Right.
Because just once I, you know, and that's just the difference of the dichotomy of another city compared to Las Vegas sometimes, because Las Vegas is like, there's this pot of us, of black people that are doing something.
Right.
But when you go somewhere else and there's so many,
Right.
and you're like, okay, this is what I do.
Right. They're like, what? That's
Within
what
a
you
week,
do? Right.
I was like, okay, I went from writing for 1 magazine, I write for 4.
Right.
I got, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
It was just like, wow. And so, you know, you're looking at it like, okay, again, what the devil mean for bad, God mean for good. I'm like, oh, okay, I love Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't know
You
if
know?
we necessarily understand how to respect each other's gifts and how to support each other's gifts.
Right.
You know, we always think in this city, and it's really strange in this city because people always think that you want something. Like, you know, you can't just be supportive outright. You know, I'm a very supportive person. I just show up at your stuff. I don't know what you got going on.
Right.
I just try to support. I just want to, you know, if you tell me, girl, I'm over here selling shoes, I'll be like, both shoes or one shoe? All right, I'm going to be there, you know.
Right.
And if I commit to be there, then I'll actually be there to support. I'll structure my whole schedule to be there to support.
Right.
But people are always wondering, what are you there for? Like, what's your end game? What's your end game? And I'm like, man, I'm just nice. You know, my
Right.
end game is I'm black. I love my community. And I think somebody should support it. Because when you do something, you want someone to support you.
Right. But you have to look at it like this too. When you're coming and you're supporting, yes, you do want something out of it. You want that relationship.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And that's it. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's all I want, is that relationship.
Right.
And so what we, as the younger business leaders of Las Vegas, is that we need to reform and come together and make this community, because I love my city. I talk about the West Coast. I am wearing Chucks, and they're looking at me like, she got on a sundress and Chucks. Yes, ma'am.
That's how we get
coming
down.
in. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And you know, I love my city, and there's so much potential here.
Yes.
There's so much potential here, and I think too, it's the safetyness of the businesses, these hotels, these unions, that you're like, okay, I'm scared to leave my job.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to step out on faith
Yes, I agree.
and see what you can do. So
You know, so we've been talking a lot about business and being business owners, and let's switch gears a little bit and
Okay.
talk about you as an author. Congratulations on your award from Upper Bound to UNLV this week.
Yeah.
That is just tremendous. I hope that, is there a ceremony ceremony that they're gonna do?
Yes, it's actually at the Rio Hotel on Saturday at 5 o'clock, I believe.
Okay.
And it's big. There's like all the councilmen, different clergy, senators, just whomever in Las Vegas is coming out, and they're making it a big deal. And then that morning, I'm going to conduct a workshop for the kids of Upper Bound. I am workshop.
Oh, okay.
So I'm excited. You know, I do this so many places and so many different cities and so many different communities. I'm coming back home to mine.
Right.
And I love it. I love that. I love talking to kids. I love talking to women.
Right.
I love like going to these shelters. I just on Valentine's Day in Atlanta, I just passed out Valentine's Day cards and food and stuff to the homeless on the streets in Atlanta with my daughter. And just when they look at you and they're like, you're so young, or you're this and you're that, and I'm like, baby, you can do it too.
Right.
And if you want the help, I'll help you.
Right.
But I'm only gonna help the people that want to be helped.
Right.
So, but I mean, I'm just excited.
All right. And so tell us about, so we're talking, like I said, about being an entrepreneur, and let's talk a little bit about being an author.
Okay.
And so I'm an author, and I swear to goodness, I have a book that I need to put out, and I've just been holding on to it because I actually, like you, I mentor, and I don't want to steal their shine. They have stuff that are going out, and I'd rather hold off and, you know, let them get their shine, and then, but I'll schedule the date. So I already told them, on this date, if you ain't did it, I'm out.
Right.
But right now, you know, I don't have a problem holding off. But so as an author, what do you find is the most difficult? You know what? Let me shift because I need this answer.
Okay.
What do you do when you are contemplating ideas for books? So you have you have the book that you want to write, but you got like 15 other books that keep coming out. How do you get through that book?
I write as many books at one time.
Okay.
So like my book that is coming out next week, Poom Poom, that book actually came to me like 3 years ago, but I was in the middle of writing like 4 other books.
Right.
So what I do is I'm writing several pieces.
Right.
And you just transition, because I know it sounds crazy when your characters are talking to you, your characters are talking to you.
Right.
I can go to sleep and come up with a whole treatment in my head.
Right.
And then wake back up and you're like, okay, I can add this. And when you're writing, the dynamics of it just change. It just changes. The flow of it is, you know, you're like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be like this. And you have to be open to that. And I just think the best thing you should do is write as many stories. You may not finish this one,
right,
but you're going to find the one that what is your season to write,
right,
when you're touching all of them,
right,
because you can put in your head, okay, I want to put this one out, this one out, this one out, this one out, but then the one that's number 5 on the list should be number 1.
Right.
While you're writing, you'll see that.
Right.
And it's hard sometimes because, like, for me, I'm writing not only books, I have articles I'm writing.
Right.
I have so much stuff. And
you're a featured blogger too.
Yes.
So that deadline that's a beast.
Yes. And
if you're an author, like if you're a novelist or a self-help writer, having to write structured pieces is difficult. So you're managing all of that.
Because I'm on so many boards for so many different things. So on top of this stuff, like you're just writing stuff for the website. So you're just or looking over plans, and all that is in your head.
Right.
You know, and you go crazy. You're like, wait a minute. Okay, hold on.
Well, I have an exercise that I do. I do a dumping exercise. And I always tell people to do this also. As a writer, we have, and I don't know if you do it, but I have a dumping exercise. So I'll time myself for 3 minutes, I just dump and I'll just write. And it's the only time I'm actually writing freehand, because when I'm writing for, you know, because I also have a blog and I have a paper that I write for. I know nobody know because I write under a pen name, so I ain't telling nobody. But when I disappear, that's why.
Right.
However, so I have to dump first. So I schedule myself 3 minutes, and that's the only time I actually free write. Right. And I dump it all, and then I go back to, you know. But what happens is when you structure right, it bleeds into whatever else you have going on, and you just kind of like, damn. I knew good and well. So you just keep writing when you do that? I just keep
writing. Sometimes I have to walk away from it. And because I was in the hospital the other day and I had my laptop in my lap. Sometimes you have to disconnect.
Right.
And when you disconnect and come back, I think that it comes back so much better.
Yeah.
It does. So I do think the dumping I wouldn't call it, I'd never call it dumping, but I do that. I freehand. I always walk around. There's always like receipt papers. I look like a hoarder in my purse. But I'm like, if the idea come to me, I'm writing on whatever piece of paper it is. Right. And then you just go, and I live off of a calendar. So at this time, I'm doing this, at this time, and you have to learn how to do that. When you work for a corporate situation, you clock in 9 to 5, right? When you work for yourself, you still do. You have to have that. If you don't, you're not going to be successful.
I agree. And it's people, one of the things I hate, one of my pet peeves as a business owner is I hate when people say, well, I ain't go to work. That's like one of my pet peeves. I don't tell people that, but that is like one of my largest pet peeves, because I'm never off. When you're an entrepreneur, I'm never off. I work when it's time for me to work. So my girlfriend's always like, when do you sleep? Which is the real question to ask.
That is the question.
And I have to explain, I work when I'm up at 4. I'm now up at 4 and I'm in the gym, but before I was up at 4 and I was writing. That was my writing time. I meditate first and then I write, and then after I write, I start my day, which I'm a business consultant, so I have clients that I have to see.
Exactly.
And then directly after that, I'm a mom, so then I have to be mommy, and I'm still that mom who cooks dinner, and so I have that life. But then right after my son's in the bed, I'm writing. So when we sleeping is like the true question, because you sleep when you're dead. You're a business owner, you working, because that's what really pushes it out. But writing 5 and 6 days now, so you just really got me up. Now I'm up. Now I ain't gonna never sleep. Because what I have been doing is, like you said, I carry notebooks. I'm like a notebook collector. And I'm always like, oh, I should write this or I should write that, But now I'm just going to start writing extra books. That's great advice. So as a publisher, so we're going to shift gears. As a publisher, how would you tell someone to present a book? Because it's something completely different.
It's completely off of packaging. I have a wonderful team that takes care of a lot of that. So shout out to the NCM Publishing family. They hold it down, because when I'm on tour and stuff like that, I can't look at everything. But it's off of following directions. Our submission process is very simple. We're requesting a query. We're requesting the first couple of chapters. It's an introduction of yourself. If you just send your book and say, read it, I'm not gonna read it. If you send it, or say, I would prefer if you say, I don't know what a query is. Can you send me something, because we will send you an email or whatever. But it's those people that have that attitude, like, I know my work is good, blah blah blah, just put my stuff out.
They ain't never had an editor.
Right.
Oh my goodness, they ain't never had an editor.
I would see that red. I'm gonna get in the bed, put the blanket over my head. I'm like, I suck.
My first edit. So this is a great lead in. So here's the thing about an editor. You don't want a grammatical editor. You want an editor. And my editor, shout out to her. My editor took my book and wrote through the book, and wrote in like the first chapter of the book, said, I don't know what the hell you talking about. Just like in big bold letters.
Girl, when you see that red, girl,
I was like,
you feel like a kid. Your mama told you go do your homework, you get sleepy. Editing is the worst for me. I will pay somebody to edit for me. I don't even care. Forget my voice. Just edit for me, because when you get that red back, I'm like.
But it's a great, one of the things that I have to say is, although I consider myself a good writer, I don't really consider myself a good author. I consider myself a good writer. And although I consider myself a creative writer, I love the criticism. You know what I mean? I have embraced the criticism, because it's made me pull for something better. It's made me reach inside. Instead of just saying what I've written was good, she was like, this is not good. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you're going. Right. What do you want me to get from this? And it made me say, okay, I need to structure better. I need to say, okay, at the end of this conversation, this is what I want you to get from it, and let me go back and maybe flow better. And even like some of the information isn't meaty enough,
Right.
and she'll say you need more meat,
Right.
So I appreciate having. It was scary the first couple of times. I ain't even want to send her nothing. I was like, I ain't sending you nothing.
You so funny. I'm happy you said the difference between a writer and an author, because a book is not because Nicola is just this fabulous writer.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 5 different editors that touch my book the minimum.
Right.
And it's an author is not the person who wrote the book.
Right.
An author is the person that is branded after the book.
Right.
So you can be an excellent writer. To get your book to be a novel, it's a complete team that creates that.
Right.
It's not you.
Right. Absolutely.
I think I'm the bomb, but I'm not.
Right.
If I didn't have my team, my book wouldn't be what it is.
Right.
But an author is a person that is out doing interviews, is out on the grind, on tour,
Yes.
is out doing philanthropy work.
Right.
It's just, that's an author.
Right.
And people don't understand that you can write books all day long and you could put a book out. That doesn't mean the book is going to sell.
Exactly.
It's what you do to get that book to sell. That's
Exactly.
what make you an author.
And I agree. And one of the reasons, although I am a published author and I use author as my title, I do it because people recognize that, and it comes with its own credibility. However, I know that I'm a writer, and one of the things about being a writer is I'm really building relationships because I'm looking for material. I'm always looking for material, and I have to tell people, I'm not writing you in my book or any books or anything that I probably have written you in something that I've written.
Right.
Because that's inspiration, but it's not, I'm building relationship because I need that feed. That's what feeds me. That's where, that's where my heartbeat is. So,
when you tell people that you're a writer, I'm on the plane, folks. It's like, girl, let me tell you about what I just read.
Exactly.
And you become Dr. Phil. You like, what?
Yes.
And like my last book last year that came out is called A Beautiful Liar. It's about a woman who left her husband, and she became engulfed in this menage a trois that went bad. So she did a one-nighter, and it just went bad, right? And so when I was on tour for that book, people were like, where did you get that information? Did you do that? I'm like, man, you need to see some of these people that be talking to me. I'm like, I'm like, what happened? What you do? Yeah. Oh, hold on, wait, repeat that again.
And I'm glad you brought that up, that you actually, because in an essence, so I always tell people this, that I'm nosy. I don't really care about the information. I'm nosy, but really what I'm doing is I'm pulling the information because I need to sort it out for later.
Research.
Yeah. And so I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of authors, they're struggling with, the first book is easy to put out. Now, here's the thing. When you put out that first book, it's really easy to get it out of you, because what people don't understand is you've been sitting on that book really about 10 years. You've really been working it out in your head, and you've got all the styles and all the things that you want to do. So when you sit down to actually write the book, yes, there's an easy flow, because it's the book you've been creating. But when you have to go into that next book, the book you've been creating, you already put out. Mm-hmm. So now you actually are writing a book. So what happens is you got to do research. You have to talk to people. You have to get in people's face. And it doesn't matter what book. Sometimes you gotta read other books to get styles of what flow you want to go to for your book. I had to change my lifestyle, which I had to change my lifestyle, because the book that I wanted to write wasn't the book that I was putting together. I wanted to write from my soul, and I was so surface, and I couldn't put out another surface book. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I know that I'm intense, and I want to come from my soul, so I had to shift my lifestyle a little bit. But people, as you said, a lot of people aren't willing to make the sacrifices to get the grind.
That's why my tour, writing as a lifestyle, is so important, because writing is my lifestyle. I am not an author. I'm not a blogger. I'm a writer, and it completes everything that I do. I want to show that writing is my grind, is my entrepreneurism, and it can be sexy.
Yes.
It can be classy. It could be hood. It could be all that in one. But it's me, and that's my lifestyle. I'm going to so many different cities. My books are going to be everywhere this year. We're going to be in Toronto next week at the Toronto Urban Book Expo. We're going to the Chicago Black Women's Expo. We're going to the Indianapolis
this is what grind sound like,
empowerment. I'm featured at the Bloggers Week Unconference. I'm featured at Book Expo of America. I'm putting on a seminar workshop with the Indianapolis Public Library. I'm co-founding with them, partnering with them. What else am I doing? I'm doing a lot. I'm going to be in New York. I'm going to be in Jersey.
Let's talk a little bit about writing as a lifestyle. First, tell me how'd you come up with the concept of the workshop?
The Writing as a Lifestyle tour is just me, and again, it's my brand manager, Charm Communications. We were just talking, and I'm just telling her everything that I'm doing, and she's like, "Writing is your lifestyle." And I was like, "Oh, that's hot." Boom, there's the hashtag. Right? And it is me.
Right.
And I try to teach my kids we were on set. What's today? Wednesday. Monday. It's a state of emergency in Atlanta. I am downtown in my office setting up an interview with Floetry, and that is my lifestyle. Like, who does that? Everybody's in the house? No, we're getting on this stage, get that couch over there, do my makeup, and that's what you want to teach your kids. Like, whatever you're doing, that's your lifestyle. And do it in everything, and doing this as great as you can. Step outside that box and learn everything of it. Like I said to you before, I'm an author, I'm a blogger. I went from having 300 followers to 40,000 followers on my blog. Now I'm on different the California Women's Conference. I'm on all these different boards. People recognize you,
right?
And so then I was like, okay, I want to write for TV,
right?
So God has put other people in you want to do that, so it's just like, all right, that's my lifestyle,
right?
And at the end, I do want to direct, so I'm gonna go back to school and get my MBA in film.
All right.
So
so where can people
lifestyle.
go to Writing as a Lifestyle? How can they get in on the tour?
You can find me out. Check me out, Nicola, NICOLAC Mitchell.com. I'm on Facebook /author Miss Nicola. I'm on Instagram Ms. MZ _Nicola. My company is NCM Publishing. My other company is Right On Promotions. And just Google me. I'm easy.
So is your Writing as a Lifestyle for youth, or is it for adults?
It's for everybody.
It is for everybody. So is there an age that you would prefer?
No. I talk to everybody.
Okay. And while you're here in the city, and I'm sure people are listening saying, "Oh man, I wish I had known. We could have booked her. We could have made her even more busy." But while you're here in the city, when you're doing your workshop for Upward Bound, where are they going to do the workshop at?
It's going to be at UNLV. I think it's invite only for that. But if anybody, we could get you there though, But if you want to book me, my publicist contact is Charm CHARM Co Communications @gmail.com.
And she's here too, so
she's a beast.
And she's like, no. So we got to make sure that when we have our helps, there are great partnerships that aren't necessarily marriages,
right?
And when we have great help and great support, we have to show them that we appreciate them. So
she know I love her. My team is this big, but when I say that I believe in me, because they believe in me,
right.
So when I'm weary, when I'm crying, I break down. And she'll be like, "Girl, all right, you done? All right, okay. So what we gonna do now? You know what I'm saying?"
So tell me, you moved to Atlanta, so you come from Vegas, and I know we're happy to have you home for the little time that you're here. And you moved to Atlanta. You just hopped up and moved. What's the difference for you? Like, how? Look, she gave me. If you could see her face. face. If y'all can see her face, because I'm contemplating to move. My son is 11, and I don't want to. I co-parent with his dad, so I won't be moving until he starts high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure a lot of us are contemplating move. I see it on Facebook all the time. I always say, "I'm running."
Right.
But there are things that, like you said, the things that you do here in this city, would be appreciated in other cities. So tell me, when you moved, what was your first aha moment?
My first aha moment, first of all, your first question was, what's the difference?
Yeah,
I hate weather changes. I hate 4 seasons. I'm a West Coast kid. So in the spring, the pollen on my truck, I'm like, ew. It's cold outside.
Right.
I've never had this many boots in my life.
Right.
I didn't even know how to pack to come home. It was crazy. But that's the difference. But in Atlanta, the beauty of it is, like last week I was feeding the homeless again, and the guy that was teamed up with me is the A&R of Sony Records.
Wow.
You would never know that. And we're out here in the street doing whatever. You can go to the grocery store and you're talking to somebody and they are blah blah blah, you're like, huh, really?
Right.
And
Did you have that black culture shock? Like, I hear oftentimes that people go to other I've been to other cities with people who have influence, and I've had it, but I'm asking you, did you get that black culture shock?
Yeah, the difference is, being from Vegas, I love my black people, but if it's too much in one place, you start worrying, like, is it gonna be whatever? And when I got out there and everything is all black, and because I've been on tour for a long time now, so I done got used to it, right? But when you're living there,
right,
when you at the grocery store, when you at everything, Starbucks, everybody is black,
right?
At the Chinese restaurant, everybody is black. You're like, for real, boo, but I love it though, because like my daughter, she goes to the #1 high school in Atlanta. It's the school that Usher and Raven Simone went to, and just to see all these influential black people that are teaching these kids the arts, it's priceless. Where else can you get that for free $99?
Yeah, I understand. She said free $99.
Yes, ma'am, for free $99. It's just priceless. There's so many workshops, like the Urban League. I love what they're doing out here. But just think of the Urban League times 1,000.
Right.
Out there. Right. Because there's so many different entities that you can have your kids go to and do this and do that. And sometimes it's just, she gets mad at me because I'm scheduled for so many events in a week, right? And she'll call. She'll, where you at? In the bed.
Right.
Get up. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's so much.
Right.
It's like in Vegas, at least it's just 3 days out the week, or maybe the 2 days out the week or whatever. But out here, it's every freaking day. Yeah. I'm like, I'm tired. And it's maybe 4 or 5 in a day.
Right.
I'm like, I gotta go to Harlem.
It's funny that you said. It's funny you said we only have like 3 or 4 things, because I on doing MLK weekend, and the weekend starts on Thursday. Excuse me. And so that weekend for me is like you said, it's a huge weekend. I don't consider myself a woman of influence, but I have responsibilities.
You are
and
a woman of influence.
Oh, thank you. But yes, I have responsibilities and accountabilities. So during Martin Luther King weekend, it's one of my busiest weekends, where everybody else is going to be off. I'm booked like 3 and 4 events. Right. I have to be here. Right. I got to be here, and here. And so one of my girlfriends, it was during the parade, because typically I walk in the parade like 3 or 4 times. And this year I didn't want to walk at all. So I actually ended up riding. I got in the car with someone. But so she was saying to me, she was like, Aisha, now I done seen you at 2 events. No, 3. She said, I done seen you at 3 events. How many events you have been to? And it was Saturday. It was Monday, actually. It was parades on Monday. It was Monday. I said, I went to 11 events this weekend. And but I was committed. I had to be at every single one. And she was like, girl, if this is your regular grind, how do you live? She was like, because I'm tired. But you know what I learned is, like you said, I can disappear. People, you know what I'm saying? I'll be in the bed. People be like, where you at? And I'll check in somewhere. Right.
My best date, girl, wait, let me tell you. There's so many times I'm booked, this magazine may book me here. These people may book me there. And I may not show up. I'm like, can you send me a media recap, please?
Yeah.
And I'm posting pictures. So it was so funny that you said that. So it was my birthday weekend, and Tamika Raymond had an event. Usher Raymond's wife. It was a beautiful event. Shout out Tamika, Miss Tamika, and Daniel Dickey. He did an awesome job putting that event together. But I was there, and then what's his name? Rico Chappelle. He had a fashion show that night, and it was another event I went to all in one night. So I got the pictures from Rico's that I'm posting. Like, they're like, where are you at? And I'm like, where you at? I'm looking for you. I'm like, okay, birds chirping. No, I can't say I'm not here, but I'm posting the pictures like I'm here. I wasn't though.
Yeah.
And but that's the beauty of people recognizing who you are.
Right.
You build those relationships. So there's a lot of times I'm not at somewhere,
Right.
and they're sending me the pictures, they're sending me the
Right.
stuff, but there's a lot of times that I am there.
Right.
And just to be included in that list is just a beautiful thing. When, like I said, sometimes I'm just turning things down, but the celebrities, the different stuff that I'm allowed to, that God has blessed me to allow my kids to see.
Right. And that's really what it's all about. It's about leaving a generational wealth. And as we are coming to a close, I want you to make sure that you tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, well, for this week, I'm everywhere. So I'm going to be at the UNLV game. I'm going to be at iHeartRadio. I'm going to be at definitely at Magic Convention. I'm going to be at Upper Bound. I'm going to be at the Rio.
Okay.
I will be in Toronto next week. I may go to CIAA after in North Carolina. I'm going to be in Chicago next month. I'm going to DC.
But they can get your calendar online, right?
Yes. So I'm just naming these out for the next 3 months. So if you're listening in these other areas, stop out, check me out. But check me out at From the Pen of Nicola. That's my blog, From the Pen of Nicola. .com, and also my website NicolaCmitchell.com, ncmpublishing.com if you're looking into publishing. I'm excited about my 2015 lineup. One of the mob wives from Chicago, Christina Scoleri, we're putting out a cookbook.
Okay.
Shay, if you have any high school kids that need scholarships, we have books out right now. I'll send you some for
Please do.
giveaways. The young lady won over $100,000 worth of scholarships on her own, and
Wow.
she wrote a how-to book how to do that.
Wow. That's important.
Yeah, so we got those.
And I'm with the
well.
NAACP, so I'll make sure that we put
Definitely,
those out. Yeah.
I'll get it for you. And just the lineup is beautiful. So again, God is good.
Well, you know what, Nicola? Thank you for coming on my show. I appreciate it. This has been a meaty show for sure. I hope that everybody, I told them when we started, get your pen ready, be ready to take notes. But thank you for coming. You have enlightened me. I needed this day. Sometimes you just need something. You need to take a little bit for yourself. So
Right.
I take a little for myself. Thank you for finding value in Life of a Daughter. You have been listening to Life of a Daughter with Nicola Mitchell, and I am Aisha Goins. Tune in on Friday morning at 8 a.m. and I have Yvette Cavalier. She's running for
Judge, Court 1.
District Court 1. So
Wow.
you want to be here. We're going to have a great show. He said he don't know if it's one. Yvette, I know you listening. I didn't say that. But I will have Yvette on here. And so that's going to be a good show. In the next 2 weeks, I'm running into my launch. So stay tuned to the lineup. It's going to be a heated lineup. I got some politicians coming on. I have some authors and some, actually, I'm putting some ministers on the mic. We're going to talk about